Hello everybody, in this video we'll be taking a look at the updated 2026 forecast for the Senate elections. Start this off, we'll fill out the safe Republican states. Those states will be Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, Florida, West Virginia, Alaska, as long as Mary Patola decides not to run, and Nebraska will also be safe, even though Dan Osborne is running again. Pete Ricketts is a stronger candidate than Deb Fischer on the Republican side, so Pete Ricketts can keep that over 10. And Ohio, as of now, it's looking like Sherrod Brown is thinking about running, but it'll be safe red if he doesn't run. But if Sherrod Brown runs, it'll probably be likely R. So for now, I'll have it safe R unless he decides to run. Iowa too. That one is between 10. It could go under 10, but for now, I think it's gonna stay safe red unless Democrats can find a really strong candidate. Then it can go likely R. So that's it for the safe red states, and Republicans already have 50 seats here. The safe blue states here will be Colorado, Illinois, Delaware, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Oregon, and those are their safe states. For likely Republican states, we'll put in Texas. Ken Paxton, he's more of a controversial candidate than John Cornyn is. If John Cornyn were to win the primary here, it would be safe red. But because it's Ken Paxton most likely going to win the primary, he's leading all the primary polls. On the general election, he would do much worse than Trump did in the state. So he'll probably win by about 7 points as of now. And then state of Maine, I think this one would also be likely R for now. Reason for that is the Democrats haven't put any strong candidates up yet to challenge Susan Collins. None of these candidates are quite strong enough to run against Susan Collins. Susan Collins will do well with independents, even though her approval ratings are very low. It's mainly because of Republicans disliking her, but still, when it comes election day, they'll still elect her. They'll vote for her. So, unless Democrats can find a strong candidate, I'm going to keep Maine as likely Republican. If Democrats can find a really strong candidate, though, then this move to toss-up category could even flip blue. It just depends. But for now, likely Republican. And now the likely Democratic states. New Mexico, that one's likely Democratic. We saw 2020. This seat was likely blue. It was because a stronger Republican here was able to make the race a little closer, but nevertheless, I think it stays likely blue for now. And then New Jersey is also likely blue. Cory Booker, he's a decent candidate here for the Democrats. Let's see how much he won by in 2020. Okay, so similar to Joe Biden's victory in the state, maybe barely more, but it's pretty close to that. And we've seen the state as a whole shift towards the right. Saw that on the House level when you sum up all the House results, and the governor's level, the president's level in 2024. Even the Senate race there was under 10 points in 2024 with a weak Republican running. So I think it'll be likely blue for now. Virginia also is likely blue. Mark Warner, right now, he outperformed Joe Biden. So I think he can keep it barely under 10 points. If a weak Republican gets nominated, then I'll be down to move it to safe blue. But for now, it's probably a high likely blue margin for now. Minnesota, I'll also put likely for now as well. If Royce White runs, it could be less close. Could even go maybe safe, just depends. But he's already declared. It just depends if he gets that nomination. If a stronger Republican can get it, then it will go, likely. But just because of that, it's still a likely unless Royce White wins that nomination. And now to the lean states. We'll put New Hampshire as lean blue. This one's an open race here. Probably is about 4 points blue. They have Chris Pappas for the Democrats. It's a pretty strong candidate for them. He typically outperforms on the House level. And then we have Scott Brown. It's going to be the likely Republican for the Republican side here. He's an alright candidate. He got the race a little bit closer in 2014, so since this is an open race, it's probably about 4 points blue, so barely under that likely margin. And then go down to the tilt states. We'll start off with the state of Michigan. This one was probably going to be the closest one out of all of them for now, but we'll just see. Democrat side, there's several different candidates they could do here. It's probably going to be Haley Stevens. She's probably going to win the primary, but there's a little bit of a primary contest here. But Stevens is leading all the polls as of now, so she's probably going to get it, even though it's not by too much. But we'll just see as the election gets closer if there's a big primary contest or not. If so, then things could get interesting because the Republicans seem pretty united on Mike Rogers. Mike Rogers is leading the polls by a lot. Unless Tura Dixon's in it, but she's not running, so Mike Rogers will be the clear winner for the Republican side. But if Democrats can unite behind a candidate, then this will be tilt blue. But if it's a big primary contest, then it could flip red. But for now, we'll keep it tilt blue just because Mike Rogers got pretty close in 2024 against a strong candidate in Alyssa Slotkin. So if Haley Stevens wins that primary, then and it's not a big primary contest, I think she can have it tilt blue. But if not, then it probably flips red. And in the state of Georgia, we'll look at that one. Right now, this is one where Dave Perdue, he won the first tally there, but you have to get over 50% to actually win. The runoff, Jon Ossoff was able to beat him. And then the Democrat side, Jon Ossoff, he's raising a lot of money. Everyone seems very united behind him. On the Republican side, though, we got more of a primary contest between Buddy Carter and Mike Collins. Mike Collins seems more likely to win than Buddy Carter, but Derek Dooley is the one Brian Kemp wants to run, and if he runs and there's a big primary contest between these people, that could really hurt Republicans here. But if Republicans can unite behind a candidate, run a good campaign, it could flip. But for now, I think Jon Ossoff is on pace to hold on by a very narrow margin, probably under a point at the end of the day. And then North Carolina, we'll look into that one. This one's interesting because Roy Cooper decided to run. Wiley Nickel dropped out, so Roy Cooper has definitely overperformed in statewide elections. He hasn't lost a single one, but we're on the federal level now, which makes it where he's not going to win by a large margin. But Michael Watley doesn't have much name ID, and there's not much we know about him. He just was the chair of the RNC before and served as the Republican chair of North Carolina since 2019. But it depends really how Michael Watley would message to the voters for the Senate level. If he's able to resonate with voters really well, and the Republicans, then it could hold on barely. But for now, since Roy Cooper's historically been an overperformer in the state, I think it'll carry him over to win by a margin of like 1.5 points. It could go lean blue if Michael Watley just doesn't resonate with voters well at all. But if he's able to run a strong campaign, then it could maybe go red because voter registration overall in North Carolina has trended slightly towards the right, but even with that, I think Roy Cooper still wins by almost a lean blue margin, right under 2 points. So this is my prediction as of now. Democrats flip North Carolina, and Republicans fall short in Michigan and Georgia, and then they hold on to Maine as of now. But some of these races can depend on who the candidates are on either side. For Maine, it could flip blue if Democrats can find a strong challenger, and Georgia could flip red if Republicans unite behind a candidate and run a good campaign, and Michigan could flip red if the Democrat field is very divided in a big primary contest. North Carolina, it just all depends on how the Republican runs his campaign, because so far Roy Cooper is running a really good campaign from the start, so he's on track to win there. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you would agree, disagree on, what ratings you would change, and bye.